Alright, so we're in a spot that will remain unknown. I'm not going to say what it is. Unfortunately, I just recorded a pretty long video and I found out it wasn't recording, so I'm just going to do a shorter version. But you can see here we have a cliff on this side, we have a cliff on that side, and then there's this little admittance portal right in the center. We're chasing after an Indian legend of buried treasure that is guarded by Thunderbirds and demon forest men. And we know someone who he said he sent a couple guys in here, and they came back with a story of basically being chased out by bald eagles with 6-foot wingspans. And when we were coming up, we definitely heard something that was screeching like an eagle. They're quiet now, but anyway, a very interesting place. Further down, there was bogs and everything. We saw a huge crane. I guess that can look like a, like a thunderbird almost. It's a very impressive bird. The one that has a little red on its head. I'm not sure what the name of the bird is. I don't know if you heard that. It's like something just chucked a rock down at us, maybe, or something fell off the cliff. But anyway, we're just going to try to get in here. We were supposed to meet with a couple other guys. We couldn't see where. So we're in the bowl. This area is again, I'm not going to say the name, but it's kind of almost looks like on the map looks like a crater on the mountainside, and it's just filled with pine trees and squatchiness. And I mean, this is the area where I guess there's supposed to be buried treasure that's guarded, like I mentioned. But sorry, it's hard to see. But you can kind of. So just filming at night, you can probably hardly see that we're in the kind of the bowl. Pretty squatchy out there, although I realize it's just kind of a spotlight you're seeing. Well, I'm still at the place where I filmed last night, and it's not probably much past noon, and it already looks like it could rain today, so I better get going. I don't think I fully explained, but yesterday I was supposed to meet with 3 other guys total. I met up with one of them. The other 2 we never found. Part of the reason probably was because we were an hour late. There was a gate that said it's locked up to June 30th. Today's, I'm not sure, something like the 27th, something around there. It wasn't locked on one end. They're just kind of a chain and a carabiner. So we were thinking of going through, but we saw another truck coming back. They had gone all the way down to the other end, which was quite a few miles. And they said it was actually, I guess, padlocked on that side. And you could get around if you, had something like an ATV, just drive around it. But he had a trailer and a truck, and then the other guys had just a regular car, which wouldn't have made it around it. So we went the long way around, and wouldn't think we'd lose that much time, but we ended up, being an hour late, later than we said we would be. And so then we, it was probably, past 8 o'clock by the time we started hiking up this way, and it's luckily light for quite a while. It's luckily light for quite a while this time of year. But anyway, I couldn't film much because it was dark. I'm going to head back up there really quickly. It's really rough terrain. You'll see when I start videoing it. I'm not thrilled to be going up alone because of the legend or whatever associated with this, but I think I'll be okay. Just kind of middle of the day. I have precautions here with weapons and bear spray and what have you, but I'll just keep my eyes out, eyes sharp, watch for any danger or what have you. I don't see Mark or Nathan. I was kind of hoping they might show up today. Nathan said he was still going to be doing some things around here today. Thinking maybe what happened is he said he had a friend who had an experience. There's lots of sightings from several sources. For instance, on my end, if you remember the guy I interviewed, Christian, who hikes in the fishes in the Uintas and that lake I've photographed, and I've interviewed him. His BFRO contact for Utah said that, yeah, there's a lot of sightings have come out of this general area, and he himself, his BFRO friend, this is a place where he's had his own visual sighting. So, and then Nathan's other friend, I said that he's had an experience out here as well, and I'm wondering if that's where they decided to go, because he dropped some coordinates for that. Maybe that him and Mark met up and they decided to go that way instead. But anyway, I'm at the original place we planned on. With the just to recap, we are in contact with a guy who's actually more of a treasure hunter, Spanish treasures and that type of thing. In Utah, there's a lot of stories about that. And he, I guess apparently is aware of a Native American legend of buried treasure. And they say that it's guarded by Thunderbirds and demon forest men, and basically Sasquatch. And it's interesting. It's kind of almost looks like a crater up in the side of the mountain, but it's super forested. And when I went in there, there's all sorts of deadfall, extremely squatchy looking. Yeah, if you've buried something in there, I guess it'd be enough of a landmark. You could find it again if you knew where it was, but if you don't know where it was in there, you'll never find the actual spot. And I'm not looking for treasure today. I'm just, documenting going in there basically. Not even expecting to see Sasquatch, which, anyway, I guess could happen, but, you have to be careful, but it seems like it's extremely likely in the daytime, especially. Okay, I've rambled on enough, just trying to give an intro here. I didn't get that much sleep last night because it was pretty cold, and I just slept in my vehicle kind of in different, uncomfortable positions, and then kind of finally drifted off about 6 a.m., slept from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., and from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. not really. I was just kind of resting my head there, sleeping. Not really, but okay, that's pretty much enough of that. And my other friend had to leave. He's going on a date with his girlfriend later on, so he had to get back. And it'll be just me today, so I'll do my best to document it. Hopefully it won't be too boring. You can kind of see here, hopefully, looks like this used to be a road. I'm guessing maybe for the 1970s. It's 50 years ago, 40 plus years ago. Probably was a dirt road. It's in disrepair, disuse. It's a pretty common theme when it comes to places that have a lot of Sasquatch. I don't know if Sasquatch is a reason, but sorry, I was distracted. There's like two butterflies, look like they're mating or something because they're stuck together flying. Anyway, well, I do see some ATV trails here, muddy ones, so I guess you could still navigate it, but it looks like at one time it was in better repair, I'd imagine. And there was a gate that they ask you to close. It says please keep it closed when you. It's not locked or anything. They just want you to close it when you go by. But another part of the gate is in disrepair. You can just walk over it. The barbed wire is all down, and so that's what I did. It's the quickest. You might hear there's the main roads up there to this. Anyway, I'm headed up this into these hills here, mountains. So. I guess you hear that noise. It's all cicadas just really making a racket. It's funny, I lived in the south of France for a while as a missionary, and they have lots of them around there apparently. They call them les cigales, instead of cicadas. And some people think they only have them in France. They don't know that they have them all sorts of places, even Utah. But for anybody who doesn't know, there are these big bugs that, when it comes to a certain temperature, make noises. At least I think that's cicadas. They sometimes make a clicking noise, I think, when it gets a certain temperature. Or maybe it's another bug. I don't know anything about other bugs that loud though. Anyway, just among the aspens, the Sasquatch area is beyond the marsh. I'll show you some beaver dams and see what we run into around that water. It seems like a lot of animals are there, but this time of day I imagine I won't see as much as dusk. And I didn't film, unfortunately, what we ran into. We ran into a couple beavers, no, actually one beaver, some ducklings. The most surprising thing were these two big cranes, huge looking birds, two of them. Just Google crane with red face, maybe that'll pull it up, red marking on the face. You'll see what I'm looking at. I think they're brown except for what's on their face. I didn't even know they had those birds in Utah. They're more like something you expect in Florida. But I guess they found their way here. And then we had the eagles screeching when we started going up to the actual place with the legend of the Thunderbirds. Oh, here's quite a den right here. Here's another one. You can see my foot for comparison. Yeah, all sorts of animals around here. Trying to see what tracks there are. Can't tell. Looks kind of big for a gopher. I wonder if it's a fox or something. I don't know. I don't know if they'd often dig completely underground like that. Yesterday, we kind of did more off trail. I'm alone, so I'm kind of taking this trail. It's a little less efficient, and at some point I need to break away and start heading up into the woods there. So we'll do that here in a minute. Okay, I think I've come to the spot where I need to break away from the trail. It kind of starts heading off this direction, further away from where I need to go. Instead I need to go this way. And I'm going to get into the boggy area down here. Last night, Lauren, the guy I was with, we noted, at least he was commenting how it seemed even cooler down here in this bog than it did up in the mountain there. And we're guessing it's kind of like the inversion, the colder air lays lower in the valley. Whereas, you know, if you were to go up 1,000 feet, it's going to be colder anyway, but it's just a small elevation difference. Sometimes colder air can get trapped in a little depression. I would see that in Florida and the orange grove, where you would see sometimes fog would be in the lower elevation and the trees would be more likely to freeze if it got too cold, because the coldest air was in the lowest, kind of stuck in a pocket because it's more dense is the reason why, and it stays lower. Before I turn off the camera, here's a quick view of the kind of, you can see those craggy rocks. That's the kind of gate or portal, natural way into this kind of protected depression up in the mountain there, this kind of a little valley. And like I said earlier, it's kind of like a crater almost. It just lays up there, and I would say, I imagine it has some strategic value. Sasquatch likes things that have strategic value. And there's a little rodent scurrying away, like a little gopher or something, marmot. No, probably not a marmot. Yeah, there he is right there. Actually, it looks like a ground squirrel now that I see him. I don't know if you can see him. He's gotta move closer, then he'll move. No, he's good at staying hidden. Anyway, and we saw a couple dead ground squirrels where we were camping. Kind of just, I don't know what happened to them. And they look like they've been there for some time. They didn't just appear overnight like sometimes Sasquatch might do somehow miraculously. I don't know how you would catch a squirrel, but that probably tells you how fast they are if they can do that. Maybe they can cloak themselves, I don't know. That would help you catch squirrels, wouldn't it? But anyway. Alright. Well, I'm taking a much different route than yesterday. It's daytime and I can see, whereas, you know, it was dusk, and I was mainly following my, I preloaded a map in what's called All Trails. You know, just created a custom map to efficiently get where we're going, not get too far lost. But, I'm wondering if I'm going to be avoiding a lot of the marshiness, because I'm crossing it further down, and it's just a creek here, instead of the bog that we ran into all the beavers and everything. So, I don't know, I might detour if I find that I've skipped all the bogginess. It's just kind of a pain to walk through, though, because you have to find stuff that's dry enough. But I'll see what I'll do. Just kind of, maybe I can find a beaver dam to show you. We weren't exaggerating about the bog, because I don't think I filmed it at all. Mainly because it was dusk. The only way I filmed when it was dark is with the lights we had. But yeah, it looks like I've avoided the bog, which would have been more that direction I'm thinking. Okay. I guess you can hear a woodpecker there. For a second I thought I would knock, but it's just a woodpecker. But the reason I turned this on, if you look at these trees that are kind of lined up, they're kind of pointing the general direction of this Sasquatch area I'm headed to. I guess this maybe broke off naturally, but it's kind of I don't know, that one I don't know exactly where the root structure would be. It's a long deteriorated. This one looks like it definitely legitimately came off the tree. The one that's this one and that one, though, and that one, those are the ones that are pointing to the Sasquatch area with the supposed treasure and stuff. So that's kind of interesting. This one looks like it's one that's dragged in, maybe. Anyway, just something to note. Okay, it looks like I am going to have to face some of the bog, because that's what we're looking at right here. And I guess if I come across some critters, I'll flip this on again. Let me see if there's any beaver dams right here. Yeah, there is. Okay. So I remember the spot, so I went. It's kind of weird. I remember this spot. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, there's some ducklings. You can probably hear them. Oh, this one is coming this direction. Is that a female mallard, or maybe just an immature male one? I'm not sure. They're ducklings. Or some other type of duck. I don't know. I don't know my ducks. I guess there's something called a pintail. And anyway, there's the beaver dam. It's quite a big one. It goes across 20 feet in width, and it's a lot of mud. And let me inspect it closer than I did yesterday. It's a massive structure. Not Sasquatch structure. Yeah. If a beaver can do that, I would say Sasquatch can do whatever it wants as far as wood construction. But yeah, they've created this huge little, well, it's a little lake almost, and then it just drops off into this next layer, and then I think they have another little dam, and then it just goes into the creek. Well, those little ducks are really bothered that I'm here. I guess I can't fly too well, I don't know. Anyway, I'll go ahead and try to let them be. Usually ducks will just, I'm used to them flying away, but they're just paddling around like they can't or something. I guess they don't want to leave their home that they just kind of hang out in all the time. Okay, headed up this way. I don't know if you can hear that or see that, but up there I think is the eagle that I guess could stand in for a Thunderbird. You can hear it's going screeching. I can't do an eagle screech, but there's two of them. There's a loud woodpecker over there, really echoing. Alright. I don't know if you can see, I guess those are the eagles. I see two big ones and it looks like one smaller one. I don't know if that's one of their younger ones. They're kind of fighting, you can see. Or maybe they're just hawks. Anyway, they sound like a bird of prey, of course, of some sort. Oh, they're kind of right over me. I wonder if they have a nest in the area there. Yeah, it's gonna rain here eventually. I gotta keep going. So another view of the area I'm headed to. So how it is, you basically, ouch, mosquito. I'm gonna keep moving. You basically have one narrow slot where you can go in, It's kind of like I videoed last night. There's a vertebrae bone there. It was that exciting or anything, but just thought I'd show that. But yeah, it's like almost a portal. You like have one little area you can go in, and then it opens up into this area which kind of is a bowl. I think I came across a mama grouse, all the babies scattered and the mama's flustered. I'll just come up here and then I'll leave it alone here. Anyway, I don't bother her more. She was going meow. There's here. Anyway, I'll get out of here. Baby's fled. Mom is still here. But all sorts of wildlife around here. Didn't see the big crane and stork things this time. It's the wrong time of day, maybe. They're somewhere around, I'm sure. There's a larger body of water around here, so maybe that's where they are sometimes as well. Some leans up here, some lean down there. Some of the squatchiness is beginning. I'll get up into the pines here. Of course, those are pointing up into the area that's supposed to be guarded, or at least has a legend attached to it. Okay. So here's the kind of stuff we ran into blocking this place the rest of the way, all the way up. Again, just more examples of trees blocking everywhere. Down through here, over here, here. I just have to find a way to navigate through. Anyway, here's some excrement. It seems to have a lot of what looks like deer hair in it. I'm thinking there's, I don't know what animal it is. Predator. Seems kind of small for a bear. But anyway, you can let me know what you think. Here's some strawberries right by it. I guess they'll be right before the season's over. Here's some columbine flowers right here. A little bit of a view, and we'll keep hiking up the route. Again, more stuff just blocking the way up. So again, we went through here last night, this exact area. Saw this kind of, it almost looks like an A from this angle, because you have two going up and then something completely horizontal crossing it. But just so much blockage, and I can more effectively do it because it's such a narrow route up. Anybody who goes through there, I guess if they really want to stop them, they can confront them right at the gate, I guess, in theory. But there's that. Is it natural? Anyway, I'm going to keep going here. There's so many mosquitoes. Just to give a better idea, I'm constantly climbing over and balancing on stuff like this. So yeah, trying to avoid them, but anyway, keep moving. Okay, you can start to see the entrance into the Nirvana, Shangri-La. The entrance to the Nirvana isn't easy, or to heaven is not an easy way. In fact, it's the opposite of heaven, getting there. But anyway, this is the only route in. I guess you could try to come from up above. There's the road that's above, but then you have to go over a couple ridges and come and drop in, and it's pretty steep to drop in. So believe it or not, this may be the easiest way, I'm not sure. I guess kind of a terrible for life in a sense. Get into life, there's one way in and one way out. It involves birth, death, which some call another rebirth, because you live on elsewhere, at least the spirit does, until, which some say have the resurrection, which I happen to believe in. Kind of fast moving clouds. Probably going to be a storm later. Alright. You can see some of the pointed crags and peaks over there, hopefully. And some more over here. But geologically speaking, you can see this is composed of conglomerate, medium to large size boulders. Well, rocks and some boulders. Once would have been in a alluvial plain, I guess a river from millions of years ago. I don't know if it was in the ocean or not, but definitely water eroded them. Okay, hopefully you can see how narrow the way is. You have the wall over here, and then over here, a tree, and a few things in between. And I'd judge that's not more than, I don't know, 50, 45 feet across. And I think it does get a little narrower yet up here. You see all these bushes, every one of them, they're all thorny. They are, again, pretty sure they're the gooseberry bush. But luckily the thorns are very small, and it seems like they're only on the newest shoots right here. I feel them, they aren't that sturdy of a thorn. So once they, well, I guess it actually is more like a spine that I'm, so it's not, on some of them though, let me see down here, that's kind of thorny, but now that I'm inspecting the closer, I guess they aren't as much of a hazard as I thought. Let's see, well, I wouldn't want to hit myself wrong on that, that's a thorn right there. But anyway, they're clogging the way, and as long as you have pants on. Ouch, yeah, there's another one that got me. Don't get your bare skin on them, you're probably okay. This is the final entrance into the area. You can see from here to kind of that boulder there. It's probably, I would say, like 15 feet across. So that's the entrance. It almost looks like these two boulders have been moved into place because the wall would have been even further over here. It's probably natural, but whatever their origin, those boulders make it a narrower opening. And we have this ripped up tree over here. And then just more down stuff again to get into it. There's a bird over there. Two of them. They kind of have a crest, like they're almost like they're a mountain jay, but they're so dark, kind of a lead blue color. I'm not sure what those are called actually. I have to look it up. Huh. But then we have all this stuff here to try to navigate through. Three of those birds, no, four of them. Oh, there they go, making noise. Sounding the warning. Not Thunderbirds, but definitely birds. Those ones I didn't hear last night. We heard the eagles. Alright, I'll shut this off for now. I don't think I'm going to go much further. I'll explore a little bit, but it's such a pain to try to navigate through this. That does kind of look like land time forgot, for sure. I was about to say, I guess the Thunderbirds are on summer hiatus, summer vacation, and you have some other birds filling in. Sorry, I'm out of breath. But you can see maybe up there, which are probably maybe eagles. I can't tell from here, but they're at least hawks or something. Two of them in that tree, and I saw a third one a moment ago. Hopefully it won't bother me. They're just kind of looking at me. I had the idea to come up yesterday in the dark. We kind of stayed in the bowl down here, but I've come up the rocky edge of the cliffs here. I'm just going to kind of peer over the rocky rim here, see what kind of view we have. I think I should be able to navigate up it. No problem, I hope, and I think I can keep this video running while I'm hiking it too. Not as much debris up here. Just a matter of whether it's too steep or not. And I think it's fine. Different rock on top here. Yeah, the conglomerate on the bottom. But this is different. Here's some of the view. Looks like for now the storm clouds have blown over. I'll try to follow up this rocky crest here and get another view in a minute. But this is the kind of the bowl. Here you can see the birds again. It's kind of looks like a vulture when it spread its wings like that. But I can't tell from here, at least I can't. I'm not, an expert ornithologist, whoever you call a bird scientist. Anyway, this is the way it came up with the entrance. I'll flip this off for a moment. Well, here I am again. So here we have a view of the country around here. This time I'm on top of the kind of depression that's in the cliffs up here. The bog would be down in here, and you kind of go out this way. And then we have the area down where the legend comes from. That's a little steep to navigate. I don't think I'll go there. But anyway, very interesting area. Don't think I'll be doing a whole lot more here. Probably just turn around, get going. I guess I could come down here. Try to make sure that this is stable. Okay. So here's an area on the ridge nearby. Just over this is down in the depression where I came in. But I climbed kind of up around the side. You can see it's somewhat drier here, but there's still plenty of pines. Anyway, not much else to report. Maybe I'll try to hike up here, see if I can see a view going the other direction, and then head out. Looks like something marked or clawed that. Similar thing over here, some damage. And a tree further down here. I don't know if that's a bear or if somehow antlers. I would guess maybe bear, I don't know. But all through here, here, all sorts of trees over here. Just everything around here has been scratched at. Here as well. Well, here's the other side. Kind of some red rocks over there, red cliffs. You can see in the distance, they're kind of distinctive. It almost looks like if those eroded quite a bit more, they could turn into like a Bryce Canyon or something, but they look like they're starting to create what they call hoodoos. But if someone hiked in from this way, I guess it would be doable. You could. This is the other side of the ridge. The other view is facing this way, which I showed earlier. Then flipped around. Now we're on the other side of the ridge here, which is completely. It's a lot drier, just like how it is in Utah. You have you can see up here this side. There's some more forest on that side of the mountain. Some over there, but then on this side it's, there's sagebrush and that type of thing. Anyway, I'll be interested to catch up with the two guys we never met. See if maybe, my guess is maybe they got here earlier enough that they hiked in while it was still daylight, hiked out, and decided to camp. There's another spot where Nathan, his friend, had an experience with Sasquatch, so maybe they just camped there when we were an hour late. There's something dark down here. Let me see. It's probably just a... Oh, maybe it's a cow? Yeah, there's cows down there. For a second I thought that kind of looks like a bear, but it's not moving, and okay, it's a cow. They're pretty stationary. They don't move much. And I thought that's probably just some burnt, log and optical illusion. But no, there's cows down there. For anybody back east who's not aware, I've heard people criticizing, oh, there's cows there. That's not in the middle of nowhere. What they do out west, because it's, in the summer it gets too hot in the deserts for the cows, they would all die. So they'll round up the cows, let them go on, BLM land, or, they have an arrangement with the federal government. They'll actually have cowboys who have to herd the cattle, round them up, truck them over to, a place in the mountains overlooking wherever the winter area is. And then they'll let them go in the mountains for the summer, and then they'll gather them up in the winter and bring them back down the valleys. So you could have the most remote place in the lower 48, and they might truck in cows. I guess that's kind of a nice arrangement for Sasquatch if they wanted to occasionally take one for sustenance. But this is definitely in the middle of nowhere. Just because there's cows doesn't mean we're on a dairy farm, or this is how they free range cattle in the western United States. I realize back east I guess they don't do as much of that. I don't know for sure, but I've just I'll go ahead and say, so Michael Merchant was criticizing Expedition Bigfoot because there were cows in the area. Well, out west there can be cows in the middle of 100 200 square miles of forest. You can have a cow because they've trucked them in. And then they'll truck them out again in the winter so they don't die. It's just a matter of making sure the animals going to stay alive for the winter and the summer. Doesn't get too hot or too cold. But yeah, I could see where someone would think, oh, they got cows, they're fences. They're just in a nice little, what do you call it? Nice little country meadow in a small town. No, this is middle of nowhere. And there's cattle. Alright. Another view of the rocky entrance from up above. So just an update. I didn't envy going back through that choked entrance, those, the rock portal, you could call it. So I'm trying to find a way down kind of the slope. This is pretty steep, probably doesn't look steep in person, but I can't film it because I need to kind of almost go down on all fours. I have a stick here and just not get too far from the ground because if I fall. But I'm trying to navigate it down. I think I can do that. But that's all for now. Okay, so there's where I came down. Here's the rocky area over here, the cliffs. And I'm still headed down. I definitely wouldn't want to try to go up this way. I don't know if I can the rocky portal to it looks like this stopped filming. Let me just say again, I'm headed down another way. Looks like I made it. Here's the rocky area over here with the portal. Definitely wouldn't want to come up this way. I'm thinking I would prefer the choked rocky portal, even with all the choke stuff going up, because this is so steep. You kill yourself going uphill, and yeah. And if it were wet, there'd be no way up. You couldn't get up it. All right. Let me see the bird up there or not. Yeah, I don't know if he's showing up or not. They went right overhead and I think I completely missed him. It looked like a vulture. So I guess right now that one was a vulture. It appeared. Just checking to see if I'm dead, I guess. Yeah, not yet, but hopefully not soon. Right. Well, a whole bunch of choked. I didn't mean to choke. Well, a whole bunch of choked stuff. This route up as well. This is not far from the portal, which is just over that way. Have to maybe try to go around here. So this definitely looks like bear country, Sasquatch country to me. You have leans here. I don't know if you can see all of them, but anyway, I'm going to be careful going through here. And just to show, yes, I do have bear spray. It says bear deterrent, pepper power. I forgot to bring that last night, but have it here when I'm alone. The other guy I was with had a 10mm handgun. He was, 10mm handgun. He was how do I say it? I want to say porting, but that's French. He has a 10mm gun that he was carrying. Handgun. So I guess that had us covered for the most part. Definitely not for Sasquatch, but still bear deterrent. At least, black bear. Anyway, just a parting shot from the dense forest we came from, and heading over to the bog here. Bog water. And just a minute ago you hear eagles screeching in the background. There we are. I guess it's an eagle. I don't know if you can hear it. Here it is right overhead. Yeah, probably just a hawk, I can't tell for sure. Not close enough. Well, there goes a duck. It's probably hiding there for a while. Alright, sorry if it's windy. Another beaver dam. This one's not as stupendous as the other one, but still quite a work. Looks like here they use a lot of mud and smaller sticks because you have to truck in. They like to use aspens, and the aspens are like way over here, and I guess they just truck in whatever they can by mouth. So there's not a lot of big pieces. Well, using more mud in this one. Super mini waterfall